If the Renault Vel Satis was a human, one would say it has a face only a mother could love. And well, since it's 2025, I guess I could be a mother, right? Let's go. Bonjour to all my French car friends. Welcome to this video, and first of all I would like to apologize because, as you can hear, my voice is a little bit cracked. I start to get sick, I think, but this won't hold me up to fight for French car culture every day. Today we are going to talk about things you need to watch out for when you want to buy this atrocity of a car, but it's a beautiful atrocity. Without further ado, let's start with the obvious. The body part of this beautiful Renault Vel Satis. In my opinion, it is beautiful. I know many will disagree, but you guys know me. I'm a Renault maniac. Some even would call me the Renault final boss. As typical for French cars, the bodywork is always a plus point because they don't tend to rust. For example, in the 90s, even early 2000s, German cars rot away with bad maintenance, of course, only. But French cars never had this kind of problems with rust after the 80s. This doesn't mean the bodywork is perfect, because you will already see here, next to the side window, normally here are some caps. Those infamous triangles in the Velsatis community. They tend to fall off because they use very bad glue from factory. It's better to have a storage full of those triangle caps here if you want your Velsatis to look nice and not like this. In my case, it fell off on both parts while driving 220 kilometers per hour, but unfortunately I cannot do anything about it. The only method to get new ones, unless you want to spend €200 plus on those cars, on those parts, is to 3D print new ones. And this will be the cheapest and most effective solution. You need to use window glue, industrial window glue, to attach them to this area and they won't fall off anymore. So listen to me, I just ordered mine. Also here for the indicator, this isn't stock by the way, this little light loves to fall off in a Renault Vel Satis, so be prepared to buy new ones. But apart from that, the bodywork is actually pretty fine. Of course, with age, here and there are some problems like seals. You see it here. They get, in my car it's okay still, but you see they can get a little bit ugly, let's say. But the real problems actually start here, guys. All suspension related parts are a huge problem in this Renault Vel Satis, and I will tell you why in a moment. Look, the Renault Vel Satis is a very special and unique car. It is a car that not everyone loves. But to save costs, of course, Renault didn't treat it like that, like a very unique car, because this car is based on the same platform as a Renault Espace or a Renault Laguna. And you can imagine that this almost 2-ton heavy car is a little bit too heavy for parts taken from the Renault Laguna. One plus point is though, even though this is a very rare car and you don't find many of them anymore, you will be able to find suspension parts, at least aftermarket, because there are so many Lagunas and Espace around. You won't have a problem with this. And they are not that expensive. So this is not the biggest expense you will make when you decide, and you are brave enough actually, to buy a car like this. Especially tie rod ends and control arms like to break, and be prepared to change them yearly. Yes, you heard that right, yearly. So if you are still watching and not decided to buy an old Jaguar instead, let's talk about the engines in this car. To open the hood, you have to have long arms because that's not that easy here. I hope you are ready. Surprise, surprise, 3.5 V6. Okay, so now you might ask, Renault Final Boss, which engine should I pick for this car? And I will always say it really depends on the build here and of course on your preferences. but let me break down the most crucial points about choosing the right engine in a Renault Vel Satis. This here is a facelift model, but if you want to choose the pre-lift, which were much more common, you have to avoid the 3.0 DCI and the 2.2 diesel engines. Unbelievable, guys, this guy just interrupted my video. So if you want a pre-lift, don't go for the diesels. It's a shame, I know. Go for a facelift and you will be much happier with more modern diesels, okay? But we will come to the facelift engines in a moment. So pre-lift, always choose this engine, the 3.5 V6. It is the best choice, even though this engine also has some weak points. The 2.0 turbo is also fine, it is good, but after the facelift it was much better. In general, I would recommend a petrol engine if you want to buy this car and have a lot of fun with it. Because with the diesel engines, maybe they feel nicer in this car because it is a huge French Liantlacht. And I think a diesel paired with a nice automatic gearbox suits this car better. But if you want reliable engines, go for the petrol ones. So, before the facelift, choose the petrol ones. Diesels are completely to be avoided. After the facelift, the situation changes a little bit. Still, I don't recommend the 3.0 DCI. It is an Isuzu-made engine. It's a customer engine that Renault bought. It was also built in some Opel cars and Volvo cars. Just don't go for it. This car loves to overheat with this engine, okay? Just don't go for it. The 2.2 DCI got a little bit better, but shortly after the facelift, it got replaced with a much better 2.0 DCI with 150 horsepower and 173 horsepower. I owned one. I owned 4 Velsatis, so I know what I'm talking about. The 2.0 DCI is a good engine, it is reliable and it doesn't consume that much fuel, but you have to take care of your timing chain. So after the lift, you still would prefer the petrol engines. Okay, let's start with the 2.0 turbo because I also owned a 2.0 turbo. If you want a 2.0 turbo, always go for an automatic transmission because the 2.0 turbo works perfect with this automatic transmission. It's an IC transmission, which is also used in my model with the 3.5 V6. So the 2.0 turbo is a good pick if you want a reliable car. Believe me, it will be powerful enough. Now we can talk about this beautiful engine here. Just take a look at it. This 3.5 V6 badge just gives me goosebumps every time I look at it. There are some things you need to look after, okay? First of all, the main problem with the 3.5 V6 is that it likes to overheat. That's why this engine the engine bay looks a little bit naked here, guys. Let me show you. As you can see in the trunk, I have removed those engine covers. I can show you they actually fit in front. I just loosely attached it here and you can imagine it would look much better, right? But believe me, it will hurt your engine. This engine hates heat. Don't put any heat into this engine, guys, or I will come after you. So you might ask, why should I buy a V6 when I can't use it properly? And that's the point, yes. This car isn't a sports car by any means. Even though this is a Nissan engine and it was used in Nissan sports cars like the 350Z, this isn't a sports car, okay? Don't expect this to be a sports car, believe me. If you want a car for an amazing cruising and driving pleasure, not from the massive, brutal acceleration, go for it. Don't expect a sports car. That's the most important thing I can tell you about this. That's why I also am 100% convinced that the 2.0 turbo is more than enough, but only if you take it with the automatic gearbox. With the manual gearbox, it is also enough, but you won't have as much fun as in this one. And guys, listen to me. I have owned 4 Renault Vel Satis. One 2.0 DCI with 150 horsepower, one 2.0 turbo after facelift automatic transmission, and also a 2.0 turbo manual transmission. Unfortunately, someone destroyed my beautiful 2.0 turbo automatic transmission and I thought I would never come back to this car because I always need something new, but I needed a 3.5 V6 and I was a little bit disappointed because I expected much more. I expected much more power, but you have to understand how this car works. It's not a sports car, it's a cruiser, you will have fun with it, but not just like in a Nissan 350Z, okay? So guys, let's move on to more things you need to watch out in the interior. Do I need to say more? Before we talk about this beautiful interior though, we need to address another big problem with Renault cars from the early 2000s. And the main problem with this car, because you know the engines are fine if you go for a petrol one. The gearboxes are also fine. Suspension is a little problem, but it's not expensive. Electronics are though. And believe me, before you buy a Renault Vel Satis, check the electronics really profoundly. You don't want electronic problems with this car. If you get one, it will be expensive to fix. There are not many parts available for this car anymore. If the ECU is broken, you will have a big problem. So please check electronics. That's the most important part. Before the facelift, it was worse. After the facelift, it got a little bit better. But you will have problems with the electronic parking brake. You will have problems with window control. You will have a lot electronic problems, okay? So please believe me, check this profoundly and make sure to go for a facelift version. If you guys decide to buy a Renault Vel Satis and are brave enough, make sure to get a good OBD2 scanner, okay? I use this one. I will link it in the video's description. You can check it out. It's one of the best if you ask me, and you can simply just, take a look on it, guys. Because believe me, you will need it. And this is also a good moment to talk about that not everything is as catastrophic as it seems. Because, listen to me, most electronic issues with this car are repairable, okay? It was just a worst case scenario when I was talking about the ECU issues and stuff. Sometimes, you know, the infamous Renault injection failure comes on the board computer. Sometimes even unplugging the battery will help, and then you plug it back and it will work again. If not, use an OBD2 scanner, fix some of those issues for yourself, and they will be gone in 90% of the time. But for the 10%, make sure to get a good mechanic and also someone who is willing to work on this car. And now we will come to the most pleasant part about this video, which is this beautiful interior. Well, my grandma always said, I don't know if this proverb exists in English, you don't get full from a beautiful plate. You understand what I mean. This interior is absolutely astonishing. But this beauty comes with some quality issues. And please guys, don't think I'm here to shit talk my car, because I love this car and I decided to buy it for a fourth time. So I am convinced that it is a beautiful car. But believe me, you know, if I say something about this car, it is true, because this car simply isn't quality-wise the best one. And I will tell you now why. And please guys, don't forget to subscribe and like this video so we can grow even further and show the world what French cars are made of actually. I mean, the interior is still fine. You sit like a French president here inside. It has this sunshade here for the back window. It has the sunshade for the rear windows as well. And in the back you don't notice any of those quality issues. And believe me, the leather actually isn't an issue in this car. This car comes with real nice leather and the quality is still good after all those years. The problem is rather the cockpit, and I will show you now why and what exactly. Guys, talking about electronics, you just don't believe what just happened. I don't get out, I can't get out. Here, I try to open it from the inside, still nothing. I try to unlock the doors, not working. I am trapped in my own car. Maybe if I insert it here and the ignition will turn on, maybe I will be able to escape. Guys, I can't get out. Guys, this is not staged, but I will have to climb to open up this car. Please, God help me. Okay, I was a little bit dramatic because I didn't notice this switch was turned on. But yeah, I will leave it in this video because I think that's just real, and sometimes the Renault Final Boss can be a little bit goofy. Okay, now let's take a seat in those beautiful seats with integrated seat belts. One of the biggest plus points of this car, because that's just so unique, and the shape of them seats, I'm so in love. And yeah, let's go to the interior and I will tell you about the issues here inside. First of all, don't get me wrong. The materials used in this car are amazing. Everything is soft touch, very soft. The steering wheel feels nice. It's real wood that you have here. Also here and there, real wood. That's great. Everything is soft or leather. Even down here, you don't expect it. It's leather. And even here, the storage area is made out of soft material. But maybe you can notice something. All the hard plastic parts in this car are extremely bad. They get gluey with age. It's crazy. So it's like heaven and hell. The soft parts are amazing and the hard parts are hell. It's crazy. Look at this, it's very gluey. And also here, with time, this likes to go off very, very often in Velsatis cars. But the worst part is the central console, guys. Here around the radio station and here around the vents. It's so gluey, you can't imagine. It's crazy. Here, the central console, I already decided to use some chemicals, yeah, to get rid of the gluey part. It's nice, but you don't want to touch it everywhere. Here on the radio, it will be hard. I don't want to take this part home and do it. It will be a little bit hard, so I have to do it in the car. But before I will fix this here, the gluey part, I prioritized the technical part that needed to be fixed in this car. So if you want to watch my full review of the Renault Vel Satis, take a look. I will link it for you here in the video description. So another issue, as you can see on the dashboard, is this little scratch. You might assume it is a scratch from transporting something, but no, with sun exposure, this area likes to crack and it's very ugly. So I think you want to avoid that, yeah? Yes, also this part here, like almost 50% of all Velsatis automatic gearboxes that I found, yeah, they have lost its wood here. So also here aftermarket will be hard. Use a 3D printer and you'll be fine. So guys, as I said, I don't want to bash this car. I'm in love with this car. I'm a real fan of this particular model. Many people think it's not that beautiful. I can see why. But if you are a little bit confused like I am and have a big passion for French cars, which is a huge problem of my personality, to be honest, you will be happy with this car. It is quirky, it is funny, and you will be happy if you are into cars that are more unique. Just take a look at it. I think it aged very well. So, what do you need to pay to get a nice Velsatis, let's say with less than 200,000 kilometers and a facelift version just like this here? If you ask me, you will have to pay 3,000 euro at least for a good model. There are many Velsatis for 1,000, 1,500 euro on Mobile or Autoscout in Germany, because you know, you can see I come from Germany. And yeah, believe me guys, don't go for those shit boxes. You can use it as an organ donor, but not as a car to drive around with, at least not for a long time. So expect to spend at least 3,000 euro and you guys will be happy. Again, go for the petrol ones. If you choose the V6, it is a good engine. It can make up to 400, even 500,000 kilometers, but it needs extreme maintenance. Change oil every 10,000 kilometers. I would recommend this on every car. Use high quality gasoline. And simply take care that it doesn't overheat. Because if it will overheat, this engine will be gone. If you be careful, you will have a lot of fun with this car. Look, mine has 210,000 kilometers on the clock. It's still working perfectly fine, perfectly smoothly, because this car actually always had regular oil changes done. It is so easy, and I think every car guy should understand this, but I see it so often. People simply neglect oil changes. Don't be a fool. It won't cost you as much as buying a new car or a new engine. So guys, let's close the hood and let's wrap it up. Thank you for watching this video. I would be very happy if you subscribe and like my video, because I made this channel to show the world what French cars are capable of. And I hope you guys will spread the word and also you share my opinion. If you do so, we see us in the next video. Let me know in the comments what you would like to see about this car. I have many ideas, but I always am a fan of listening to my community. Have a beautiful day and see you in the next one. Bye bye.